Take you back in time. Space Odyssey. Remember 2001 Space Odyssey? Do you remember that? Yeah, as a kid. And I didn't fully understand the movie when I saw it until I saw it again as an adult. And I was then, when I saw it again on a rerun, I was thinking to myself, Dave, this could this really happen? What I was viewing was AI gone, it was run amok. That's what I was viewing, and I didn't really have the knowledge to understand it because AI didn't exist except in the mind of science fiction creators. Open the pod bay doors, Hal. I can't do that, Dave. Open the pod bay doors, Hal. I can't do that, Dave. We are to the point where it's soon going to be open the pod bay doors. That's right. And who's Hal? Well, we're going to tell you right after the break. I'm Dave Hodges. This is the Common Sense Show. We are the show that is freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. And we are brought to you by the good people at Magic Die Call that bring us the Nanosoma products. And you know, I've talked endlessly for the last year and a half about what they've done for me. You get 3 bottles on the starter pack of the Nanosoma liquid spray. This brought me back from death's doorstep. Nothing else was working. Got through the pneumonia, but the strip lung linings, oh, sorry, Dave, at your age, are not coming back. Well, they're back in force, and I'm doing things I haven't done in 25 years. And the spray is the big thing. If I had to pick one thing for people to be on and nothing else, it would be that. But then you're working out and you're getting bone on bone, you're going to limit your progress. And that happened to me. And my friend Scotty Sachs says, Dave, I use this myself. Rub the gel on your joint. How long will it take? Well, it varies. Well, for me, it took a little over 2 months. And I no longer have bone on bone joint pain. I'm able to do what I want with my legs because it was my knees that were the problem. And then finally, you have the skin cream, fine lines and wrinkles. But you saw me use it for my finger. I probably needed about 4 stitches. And I put the cream on it, wrapped it up every day. 2 weeks later, look, no scar. It was perfectly fine. Together, you get 15% off for the starter pack. Everyone should be equipped with this, particularly what AI is doing with denials of medical care. Oh, we're going to be talking about that as well. How do you get yours? Well, you go to iwantmyhealthback.com/Dave Hodges. iwantmyhealthback.com/Dave Hodges. Well, that was interesting. We have a problem, and the problem is called Palantir. And the problem goes beyond Palantir because big tech has captured the Trump administration, and they're working in ways that are not in your best interest. That's right, Palantir. And they have their technology offshoots into flock cameras. And we know that 4,000 police departments are using those and they've been misused. They track political enemies. They track ex-girlfriends for stalking purposes. I mean, yeah, exactly. Every move you make, every breath you take, they'll be stalking you. And the Palantir technology is next to none. And I got to tell you, the evil empire is being run by Alex Karp. You look at him talk about what they're capable of doing, and he is gleeful, violating your privacy, threatening lives, mostly in foreign countries, but who knows about here? And he's gleeful. In fact, he uses a term in here. Let me find the term in my notes. It's called the kill chain. Locate, target, eliminate. It's actually a military term. 3 phases. That's the kill chain. Palantir is the master at this. You're saying, well, what form does it take? Primarily, it would take drone form, but it's not limited to that, people. I'm telling you, this technology is going beyond control. It makes the science fiction of 20 years ago look like primitive technology. It's absolutely incredible. But anyway, out of the PayPal mafia, as it's quote been called, not my term, Peter Thiel arose from the ashes, so to speak, and he formed Palantir. And he brought in Alex Karp, his roommate from college. Alex is brilliant. But you know what he majored in his graduate studies? Social change. And boy, do they apply it there. This obviously has marketing implications, but it goes a lot farther than marketing. By the way, do you know how Palantir got his name? Are you familiar with Lord of the Rings, where the Palantir stone could predict the future, could do remote viewing through the stone? You could see from to far away places. What an appropriate name. If a company's name was ever applicable to its mission, it would be Palantir. Palantir cannot, well, let me put it this way. I saw an interview where Alex Karp, when I was preparing for this story, Alex Karp was asked in an interview, can you talk about the kill zone? He goes, well, the lawyers say I'm not supposed to. And then he started gleefully saying, but if I could, I would be telling you it's about targeting people with the kill zone three-part phase that I just mentioned. And this guy was jumping for joy. Palantir's stock has gone up, oh, God, what was it, 2,000% in the last 3 years? It's because the government is using your tax money to pay them to spy on you. Predictive policing, The Matrix, Tom Cruise, the movie, it's no longer fiction, people. Every move you make when you go out, all the cameras are linked in. Do you think your your doorbell ring is safe? It's just telling you who's at your door. Think again. How about OnStar system? How about other elements of your car? How about your TV set? We know that TVs can spy on you, quote, the smart TVs. Where do you think the technology comes from? Tracks you from the moment you leave your house after it's been tracking you in your house to where you're going. I suppose it's a way to make people behave. Instead of thinking God's watching, well, Palantir's watching. It's invasive. It's illegal. And your government is the biggest customer and making them money hand over fist with your money designed to lessen your life. Now, let's carry this out to its logical extreme, much like you would see a science fiction movie do. Where could this end up? Why do they need all this data on everybody? Well, one thing I've been reporting for years, an NSA insider, and this has been reported in other sources now, um, they do a threat matrix score on you based on data aggregation, 16 scales, and then you finally get a cumulative score, and it tells you what your threat is to the ruling class, the people running the things in the government, or who the government's running things for, probably is more accurate to say. And we don't know the details, but you would assume with all that money going into it with the NSA, there's a cutoff line. What does it mean if you're below the cutoff line? Well, all I got to say is Palantir type technology found Osama bin Laden. You can run, but you can't hide. And combined with what we talked about in a previous segment, the energy crisis and the life-threatening aspects of that, depending on where you live and how severe the problem is. But do you see maybe why the elite are building bunkers like there's no tomorrow? Then you can start getting into scenarios like drone wars, search and destroy missions. I mean, I said we'd go to the science fiction, but is it really science fiction? I think we have to really, really pull back the reins. Twice in the last 5 years, thousands of scientists have come forward and said we need limits on AI. And right now, it's the Wild West. There's no guardrails. Anything, anytime, and who would know? How do you investigate something that can cover itself up? I'm Dave Hodges. This is the Common Sense Show.